started the recording. And welcome, everybody. I hope everyone is alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic about life and living, and ready to have a fantastic hour of learning and growing. I am Elizabeth, and I help you focus in on what you really desire and then give you strategies to help you bring it into manifestation to actually see it. I have my co-host here with me today, Karen Fern, and Karen is a business coach, but I'll let her tell you about herself. Hey, Karen.
Yeah. Hi, everyone, and all who's going to be listening to our replay. I'm Coach Karen, and I'm a money mindset coach. And what that means, I help you with your mind, focusing on the positive areas. We do deal with the negative, but main focus is on the positive and money, bringing money into your business, understanding how money works, and, getting it to be your friend so that more of it can flow to you. So that's what I do in a nutshell. Right back at you, Elizabeth.
Okay, and so what we're talking about, hi, Rebel, how are you today? What we're talking about is how to stop procrastinating and get things done. That is a biggie. At least it is a challenge for me on a regular basis. I don't know about anybody out there, but for me, it is a challenge. If you are challenged with procrastination, put a 1 down there in the chat bar just to see it. Okay. Okay. It is one of those things that we're always challenged with. And, when I ask myself, why am I challenged by procrastination? A couple of things come up. One, no clear goal. When I'm challenged by not starting something in my business, I don't have a clear goal. Fear of failure. And that one comes up when I'm exercising. And when I'm really at that crutch of the edge of starting something, it's that fear of failure. Well, maybe if I don't start, I don't have to worry about failure. Okay. It is looking at the big picture. Sometimes can get you to procrastinate. Like if you're cleaning, you got to clean the whole house. It is like, oh, why? And I don't know. Yeah, it becomes really overwhelming. And, because this is going to be a discussion today, Revel and Lovely, if you'd like to join us today, that would be fine with me. Come on in and join us. How about you, Lovely? You want to join us? Hey, James, how are you today?
Hi,
yeah, you say because it's overwhelming when you look at why you procrastinate.
Yeah, when you start making the list and you look at the list, whether it's cleaning your house or whether it's things you need to get done, you look at that list and you're like, oh, I'm going to go play a computer game.
I need to get you girls in my house, man. I need to get you girls in my den. I'm the opposite. I love big picture. I like putting down paper and just writing all the stuff I'm going to do. I get so terribly excited. I get to section it off. I get to cross off my list.
Bitch, you're in the wrong. Bitch, you're in the wrong blab.
I'm totally excited. I want to go for it. Like, I had my list this morning. I got like 3/4 of it chopped off. I was like, yay! And I was, debating on the other 2 things that needed to be done. I had nothing to do with business. And I was back and forth. I went to that 2 stores because it was out. And I said to myself, oh, hold on. Why am I doing this to myself? So I just turned right back, went back to the store, got my stuff, and left. I'm like, that's not how I deal. No. I'm not going back home without it. Went back in, and of course, when I got to the car, because I got a small car, when I got to the car and I look at the box size, I was like, this is not fitting in my car. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm making 2 trips, but it's fitting in my car. I'm taking it out of the box, and I'm poking it in, and I got somebody from the store to help me, and everything fitting, and then I came in, got my kids to empty it. It all worked itself out. Had I left it and say it couldn't fit in the box, I would have come back another day and get somebody else. No. I wanted it done today because I wasn't going to do it again tomorrow because I got other things from my list for tomorrow. So you guys make me laugh. Like, this is how I want you guys to attack it. Just be...
well, now, hey, I have to admit that even though I procrastinate, I realize that action will solve it.
Exactly.
And like you gave one key, and that is having a list. Having a list sometimes can, not sometimes, to me, having a list is the way that you get everything down out of your head so you can organize it. And also having a list, checking it off, helps you to, it's like a pat on the back each time you check off one of those things. Yeah, I agree with you. Lists are critical, and it makes you accountable. And also, especially when you're working by yourself, a list is rewarding. It's really rewarding to have, oh, look at what I did, but now we say the simple thing is to act, but resistance happens when you think that you should take care of this stuff. You must take care of it. You need to take care of it. That's when resistance builds up. Like, I should go to the gym. I must do this video. Oh, I need to. It's almost like your mama with a ruler over your...
That's what you're resisting, Liz. You're resisting what used to be, but now you're at a point where there's nobody to tell you to do it. You just have to want to do it yourself. Ali says here, having a list allows you to see what you need, can reschedule, and what other priority arises. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what Karen said, getting excited about it, because this morning I made a plan. I don't normally go to the gym. I'm doing this smoothie shred thing. I mean, I train here. I've got kettlebells, I've got clubs, I've got everything. I train with my partner twice a week, and then I've got a class on Monday nights. And I said, I think I'm going to go to the senior center. They have a free gym there. Doesn't cost, free gym, of course, it doesn't cost anything. And I said, I want to go and do that twice a week when I don't have other plans, Tuesday. And I got excited about going. I made the definite, it was in my head to go. If I do that with work, if I do the same thing with work, like today, I got on my list. Elizabeth has been kind of nudging me today. OBS, Adobe Spark, and Ripple, 3 things that are techie. And, I'm kind of excited about them because I have decided to do a free health challenge myself. After doing the smoothie shred, when that one's done, I want to do another one by myself. There's going to be a free health challenge. And I said, I need to learn these in order to be able to promote this. So that's kind of exciting. It's like the back end pushing the front end. If that makes sense.
Right. So if you know, so you're saying, Rebel, if you know what's the reward you can get out of it, then you get excited. If you can't see that up front, then you're not as excited.
Yeah, because I have plans for me working at the gym, adding more movement to my workout, and it's all. Well, I did 3 miles first, and normally after I go out and walk 3 to 5 miles, I'm just like, okay, I did my thing. But today I was like, okay. Oh, you know what it was? Is I saw this woman on Facebook who's 80 years old, and she's like the oldest bodybuilder. And I said, I'm using an excuse that because of my age, I can never have that six pack abs. So I challenged myself because of that. I saw her and I said, that challenged me. She did it. Why can't I do it? I'm not her age.
Right.
I want those shoulders. I want those abs. I want what she's got. How do I get it? I got to up my training a lot.
Yeah. You got to get active. And I liked what was said over here with being able to modify your list. Also, Allie said, because I have a list, but I make it a doable list. Once I get on 10 things on that list, that's finished. That's, I'm going to do those 10 things and then I'll add. Or if I have a bunch of things, I'll put everything on and I'll prioritize. And I feel okay to modify, take the things off that I didn't get to and put them on to the next week. But, you have to be flexible in being able to you don't want to be too flexible.
Then you get into excuse land, right? Then you can put it over. One of the things that I found that helped me when I first started working from home was to have 2 lists. One is my house list and one is my working list, because I used to, when I first started, like anybody else, I used to cross over like crazy, and I put in a load of laundry, I start my food, and I come down and work, and I'm running upstairs, and I'm in the laundry room, or something would be happening and going on. And then I realized, like at the end of the day, I didn't get as much done, and so I cut it out. So anything to do for my home has to be done before I start work or after work. So I'm not doing it in between. But I like to have both lists, because then I want to see what I accomplished for my family and what I got done for business. And it really makes me feel good. I think that's the part. It makes me feel good at the end of the week. Friday, when I look back, I said, what did I do from Monday to Friday? Was it progressive? Was it towards what I need to get done? Is it bringing money into my business? Am I employing people? Like, I want to know. There's a couple of questions that I have for myself, and I really want to have them answered. So when I can't answer them, I don't like how I feel. So that feelings I put into the next week, if it was very good, so that it also motivates me because, boy, could I get sucked into Facebook? Yeah, I'm one of those people who can go onto Facebook, answer a whole bunch of questions, give you a whole bunch of advice, get carried away, talk to like, I'm like, 2 hours? What do I do?
Yeah, I've gotten better about Facebook and all those things. I've gotten really good about them. I just kind of turned them off. I leave my phone in the other room, so it's, if I want to look at my phone for something, it's just like, oh, it's over there. I'm not going to bother with it. So I've gotten a lot of things done. And then, of course, I do the tapping. So even though I feel like talking on the phone, I choose to take care of my business right now. And instead of, even though I feel like going on Facebook and seeing what's going on. Because a lot of these things now I've been on for so long, they kind of bore me.
Yeah. But when I first started, like, as I said, when I first started, like, oh my gosh, I was on Facebook for hours. I was on Facebook, I think, a whole week. And on Friday, I was like, what did I do?
Yes.
What did I do? And I was like, what the hell? I didn't do anything. And I had calls that I didn't return pertaining to my business. I had clients waiting to hear back from me. But I went down that rabbit hole. But I was happy in my hole, mind you, because it was happy.
Yeah, and we were active. We were talking to people. We were connecting, and the same thing. Blab was worse, man. When I first got on Blab, I was like, oh my god, look at all these people I can chat with. Oh my god, I spent hours on Blab. Now I'm very, very focused on.
Yes.
Like I'm here with you guys, and I might be doing Karen's on Thursday, and then I'll do my own, and that's pretty much what I'm doing on Blab. I'm pretty much off Blab.
Yes, yes. And it's you, Revel. You had a blog show and talking about how much time we spent. And after you brought it up and I was on your show and I started checking my time because I'm a slotter. Like my
Oh,
wall has my time on it, okay?
oh
The things
yeah,
I'm supposed to do. And so, I got this big wall up here. I don't know if you guys can see.
we can.
That has, yeah, has all my stuff that I got to do. And my wall wasn't getting ticked off. There was no red marker. There was nothing. And Rebel said, we were on Blob, we were on Biz Chicks, we were on so many other blobs that we used to be on. Rebel and
Yeah,
I, like, every time I see Rebel, she see me. We used to be like one after another.
yeah.
And I was like, she is right. I attended over 9 blobs. Okay, no. I didn't like. I'm sorry.
Right, I did a blab. Are you a blab addict?
Yeah. I had fell down the rabbit hole, where even my family said, well, what has happened to you? That was when you first got into it. And I realized I realized that what I was doing was I was procrastinating on Blab. I was procrastinating on Facebook. Now I say, because I choose my wording, is that I was doing research at that time.
Yeah. We could rationalize it for days, right?
We could lie to ourselves like nobody's business. We can just lie to ourselves. I tell you. And when we start lying, people just come in and cooperate. My husband would call. He's like, "Kind. So what are you cooking today? If you put this on and it started by the time I get in, I can help you do this and that." That's not true because when you get in, he's not going to really help me. But I used to fall for the nonsense. I do not do those things. And on the side here, you see, Ali, is kicking up a storm. She was saying, I did a challenge a few months ago that changed my life. For 1 week, I had to track everything I did and the time spent doing it, Facebook, blog, etc. We're getting away too many hours, complete eye opener. And now I am so much more focused when I choose to spend time in social media and other areas. Yes, it's a time suck. It's a time suck. And because when you answer somebody one question, and if you see somebody else need help, and I like to help people, so I go overboard. That's one of my big thing. I can admit it. I go overboard. I'll tell you what to do. You can set a time with me. I'll help you do it. I know how to do it. So why would I not want to help you do it? Okay.
Hey.
Well, now I'm making more specific times to do things. This is the time I have to read and do my writing. Then I did have this time I got Elizabeth in here today. I got to check out Elizabeth, and then I've got to sit with my husband and do this. And then I come in. I had to take a nap, and I got up, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, Huzza is doing something at 2:00." I'm like, "What?" That's not in my thing. It's not on my schedule today.
and also, if you put the critical things that are going to make you money, who are going to, especially when you work by yourself, filling in your schedule with those critical things are key. Then you look at where you have the additional time to do it. Because I'm like Allie, where I saw so much time was just wasted, and by the time I finished going to all of these blabs and running around to Facebook, I was too tired to do anything else. And so one of the things that I've learned that with your list, once you make your list to help you get more productive, is to do the hardest things first.
Yep, just what she said. Yeah. What's that? Eat that frog.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in a phone. And put on a timer. Like I was in a blog, I forgot which blog it was, talking about the timer. I'm a timer queen. I got a physical timer, not the phone. I don't get distracted with my phone because I just don't use it for anything other than talking to people on WhatsApp. So I don't use my phone during the day, my mobile phone, unless I'm out. I have my business phone right here, so that's the one that I tend to. Yes, Ali, I love my timers. So I know if I'm going to do emails, it's a 15 or 20 minutes thingy. When that 80 minutes is just about to reach, I am closing and shutting it down. If I didn't get back to you because my 20 minutes are over, because I start waiting for you, yeah, I gotta set that timer. I literally got a sign on my door and I turn it around when it's the do not disturb and all that stuff. I just have to do those things because it's getting ridiculous.
There are a couple of really good apps I was trying to find. There's one, Promenon, I believe it is, that is on the computer.
Yeah.
And there is another one that I have that is on because I don't use the phone either, because that can be a distractor too. That is on my
Pomodoro.
Yeah, okay.
I hear people talk about it. But the thing is, here's what I find. If I'm writing content, and that's on Word, the reason I don't like the apps on the computer and stuff is because I'm still hearing stuff. And I know people say you can turn it off. But I'm just going to speak for me. I got too tempted. So because I don't want to be tempted, I take it off and I just have my physical timer and I'm doing my content in Word. And if it's where I'm really focusing on getting inspiration, then it's pen and paper. So I don't even need a computer. And then I come on the computer and do the typing, because I do not want to get distracted or somebody. Here's the thing. People see you on Facebook or somewhere online and it tells them that you're online, and if they're trying to get to you, it just keep pinging me. Maybe I'm not turning everything else off. So I just get offline and just stay on Word or something where nobody can see me unless the thing I'm scheduled for. So.
Now, see, I don't have anything that's pinging. So that doesn't distract me. Another one is called Focus, and it's on the
That's
iPad.
what I have. Yeah.
And what I like about it is that you're setting certain time limits. 25 minutes, focus, get up, 10 minutes, or however
however much you set it for.
But I like it because it really helps me to. Everything else is gone except for that. Now
I have that one. The two apps. One was called Focus, Focus, and the other one was Pomodoro. The thing with apps, number one, I agree with Karen, because I have WhatsApp on mine, and my friends all have this thing going on, and it goes bing, bing, bing. And I'm like, all right, you people have no life, okay? So I like the idea of just having a timer. And the other thing, the only problem for me with Focus or Pomodoro is you set it for 25 seconds or whatever, or minutes, not seconds. 25 seconds is about my span here. 25 minutes and then 5 minutes off, or 10, whatever you choose to set it at. The problem is sometimes I'm done with what I'm doing in 15 and you stop the timer and it just deletes what you were going to do, even though you wanted to do it again tomorrow. And so I don't like that, but I like that, I'll save up to 25 minutes on an outside timer to give myself time to do this. And then, but if I quit early, if I finish early, then, it's not off my list. It's still on my list for tomorrow. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you finish whatever you set up to do for that timeline and you're going to do it again, it's a consistency thing that you do daily for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I like my 10 minutes because I like to set 30 minutes spam, even though people do things, because I do a 20 and then the 10 is for me to get up and dance, silly dances and foolish stuff, because it just keeps me in the mood. I put on music and sing to my loudest and do silly things for that 10 minutes. I can't really draw, so my drawing is terrible. I stick people, but I do draw them.
but it's getting oxygen into your brain. It's shaking out all of the kinks in your body, because when you have been sitting for a while, you start getting numb, and it really helps to get oxygen flowing through, so that you don't just leave it, that you are definitely coming back. Also, way to get past procrastination is have an accountability partner. As I've mentioned to Karen several times, I do not exercise at home. I know me, okay? You have to know who you are. I have Rebel. I have the books. I have the weights. I have the Pilates machine. I have the hula hoop, okay? I got all of the equipment that I need here, but I realize now who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have to first understand who you are and adjust for that.
Yeah.
And I recognize that for me to exercise, I need to have an accountability partner. And even if it is just the other people in the group that
Right.
I'm going to, but getting out and going makes a big difference for me.
Yeah.
And like I told you, every morning I'll get up. I'm going to this yoga class. I'm going to the body. Now I got everything that I can do at the house, but I tell you, if I do mine at the house, 5 minutes will be done, and the rest will be. How you doing, Leela? Anybody who is listening is welcome to come in and share with us some of those things that they are using to stop procrastinating and get things done. Because you got to trick yourself sometimes.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I just posted something I found yesterday. This woman, Erin Stutland, I saw her on Facebook. And, if you're doing like the Pomodoro or whatever, and you're doing 25 and 5, she's got a free 5-minute workout. So when you get up and you can dance, do her thing. And what she does is she does the movement plus mantras at the same time, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So I put that up there and y'all can check it out. It's free so far. I don't know what your charge is. I mean, I just started yesterday, but I figured 5 minutes, you know what?
That's good.
Yeah, you got something, you got 5 minutes, you want to get up out of the chair, get up and do some punching and do some jumping jacks and stuff. If you jump, my girls don't like me jumping, but we work it out.
That's because you know why.
And go ahead and break it down into bite-sized pieces. How do they say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
And so, if you are trying to do a project, like right now, I am putting together an online course. Well, I've got the big picture, and I'm breaking it down each day into the smaller bites. And by tomorrow, I will start on the first bite and do it. But I tried at first to try to do everything at the same, and that's discouraging,
Yes, it is.
So you have to start with, and like I said, some people say start with the easiest. I say start with the hardest. When I go to the gym,
I don't know about, It depends on what is the hard part for the day. It depends, because if you don't like sales, then making the sales calls would be really hard for you. So when you get up, and if that's what you want to do first, then you better do some kind of laughing yoga, some kind of giggling, something to get you in the kind of mood that you feel nice, happy, and bubbly, so that when you talk to, the person on the phone, if that's what you're wanting to do, you wouldn't feel really terrible when they say no. Because I think one of the hardest things people really don't realize, that you have to expect no. This is not being negative. This is just true. You got to expect no's. And when you get it, you ask yourself, when I get a no, what am I going to do with the no that I receive? Like, how am I going to accept it? Like, what am I going to do with it? Because the minute you start going down that rabbit hole again, but that no, you can bounce back is hard. So the rest of your day is like, you got in a row and like you can't do anything more. So prepare for the no.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Leela. How you doing?
Hi, Lee.
Yeah, hi, Jackie.
I am better. My body's been feeling interesting, but today I'm better.
Oh,
good.
So I wanted to.
You said you use the Google Calendar.
Google Calendar is everything now because like you can put the little app on your phone. And mine has, well, not just mine, but everybody's does. They have, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like right there, you can put an event, but there's also a goal and a reminder. So let's
Okay.
say like Karen or Elizabeth, you're writing your course. So you can put the goal in there to write your course. You can tell it how long you need to write for. You can tell it if you're going to be doing it daily or several times a week, and whether any time of day is best, or mornings or afternoons or evenings, and then it'll populate it into your calendar for you. If you add something in, it'll move it around. And then it gives you reminders. So it's like right there in your phone. It's like, hey, you need to be working on this course for 35 minutes, remember? And it's there and it pops up, and you know, because we all run around like this. We all have our phone in our hands 24/7. So
No. No.
Maybe it's your generation, but
Leila, you are my daughter and my son. Yeah.
okay, so we 30
Mom?
have our phones in our hands 24/7.
but the Google Calendar does sync up with what's on the computer, and so you can get the same reminders. So even though I may not carry mine around with me, I'm going to check that out.
So it pops up and tells you that you got to go write your course. Does it pop up and say it, or it just pops up?
So what I'm working on right now is I'm reading Money and Love Story by Kate Northrup. I'm like, what's her name? Kate Northrup. And for 21 days, you document 3 ways that you value yourself. And it's in my calendar. So when it pops up, I don't know if you guys can see these. There's a bunch of reminders there.
Okay.
A bunch of practices that I do. So they're all at the top of my screen. If I make them go away, see all those little dots across the top of my screen? That is a reminder. And then once I do it,
got you now. Yeah.
So I journal every day. That's a reminder. It pops up. I make something every day. That's a reminder. It pops up. I read every day. That's a reminder. It pops up. And now that I've been doing it so long, like that's why they're still there, because I just ignore the reminders. And then it gets close to bedtime, and I'm like, what do I have left to check off my list? And then I can see. But then I added in the value one, so it'll pop up sometime this afternoon, because I told it that I like to do that like towards the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a pen paper person. This is my list right there. I pen paper. I see those things pop up and I go, yeah, delete.
It really how our brains work, you know. That's really what happens.
I work both ways. So like this is my little I did it myself. It's like bullet journaling, but I like did it myself. So it's just a subject notebook. Yep. And
got mine too.
And Post-it tabs. So like this is my to-do list for one of my clients.
There's my Post-it tabs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Personal to-do list. I have a shopping list tab. This goes like all the places with me.
Nice.
But if there's not an alarm, like I'm like one of those mice. If there's not an alarm, I'm like, oh wait, I have emails to send. Let me, you know. So the alarm pops up, and then I grab my notebook.
Yeah, and Allie, I agree with you. It is a way to, and thank you, Leila, for sharing. It's a way for us to bridge this gap. It's a way for us to, you know, what works best for us. And that's why I love Blab, is because of the ability to share what works best. And how can I adapt it? Like, I know that I have heard people talking about how good the Google Calendar is, which I haven't really used because I'm on a Mac, but, you know, for really sharing with others. So when we get off, I will put it on my list as something to check out to see how to utilize it on the format that's best for me. I may not carry it around, but I'm into paper and pen.
Yeah. Me too. And I guess because paper and pen, if I'm going anywhere, I like to take notes. I'm a people watcher. I watch people. I take notes on what they do, their expressions, and sometimes something fancy. Somebody might be doing something, and even though it might have nothing to do with per se, or it seems so at the time, I find if I take notes on it, I'll come and use it as content in a different form, and it just corresponds. That's just me, right? So that's why I guess I like pen and paper. But I do use Google Calendar. I just don't like things what pop up and remind me. I don't know what it's me. It has nothing to do with Google. It just irritates me when it pops up. I think it's just my personality. It has nothing to do with Google. Because I do like them because I use them for, when people make an appointment with me, it's set up there for all my Zoom contacts and stuff. I use the Google Calendar. It's there. It comes and remind me. But I guess when I'm doing my own thing for my biz, I don't like it. And I can't explain why.
I think it's,
so I stick with pen and paper.
Like Liz said it best. You have to know yourself, and you have to know what works for you. And so, like Liz, you're at your desk in your office. This is my office.
Right. So that's the diff right there.
Yeah. One day, my client texted me, and she's like, "Hey, can you da da da?" I don't even remember what it was. And I was at my happy place in the park. So I really fast. I think it was an email. I real fast sent that email out and then billed her for my time and then went back to watching the ducks fly around in the park. And she was like, wow, that was fast. And I'm like, I'm in the park. If I don't do it now, it won't happen. So that's another reason for the reminders, because I have 3 children, 12, 10, and 8. So at any given moment, I can lose my mind. I can be like, oh, like I was working earlier and my son kept popping into my room. Mom, did you order my controller yet? Did you order it? Is it coming? When's it going to be here? And I'm like trying to work. So if I don't have it written down and I don't have an alarm to remind me that, hey, there's a deadline, it's gone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Whereas I come in somewhat like Karen said, I come into my office, I have a scheduled time, and then I come in here and I'm working. I'm focused. I am not bringing anything else into my office except for office things. And then when I finish, then I go out and I actually shut the door to separate those times because I found that I found it bleeding in. So again, you have to know yourself. You have to know what works best for me. And that's why I'm so glad that you came on to share, because paper and pen works good for us. That doesn't mean that everybody who's listening, paper and pen are going to work for them. And you've given another point of reference. Okay. Let me see.
Exactly.
Okay. This is, and one reason that I started coming down this rabbit hole is to work with people like you, because my clientele is, and like you, Leela, that they have the phones. So I said, well, if you have a phone and you can get on Facebook, then I guess I better, they say, where are you people? I better make sure that my material I can provide on Facebook, so it's mobile, so that it's, and Rebel, I was talking about, I've been doing videos. My son told me, cut it short. Make sure that the videos are short, because if you're looking at them on your phone, you're not going to spend more than 5-6 minutes at the most. And make sure that you get all the content up first. If you want more, then you'll research more. But I'm learning, so thank you for
And your son's right. I'm impatient. Video limit's about 2 minutes. If it's on my phone and it's more than 2 minutes, I'm like, if you can grab me in that 2 minutes and make me want to open my laptop to keep watching, I'm gone.
Yeah, that's exactly what he told me. He said it's got to be short, quick, and to the point. And he said, stop rambling. Now, with the blab, we can ramble.
But that's why Snapchat is so popular. That's why Snapchat's so popular. 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, but then some of these people, it's like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm like, well, eliminate, you know, just enough of that, you know. But there's a reason that's 10 seconds is to keep your, you know, say what you got to say in a short, and that's like Twitter, you know, 140 characters, done. Say what you got to say, get out.
It really makes you get to the point faster.
Yeah.
I had this professor years ago. He'd make you write an essay, and then he'd make you cut it down and make you cut it down and make you cut it down. And we used to be so annoyed with him because we're like, what was the point? Like, we did all this big research. We've got a whole paper set up for you, and then you're like, cut it down. And you know, we cut down. I mean, the first time I cut down this amount of papers into like, I don't know, maybe a paragraph or whatever. Yeah. I was so irritated. And then he said, present it. So the people who weren't cutting it down step by step, boy, did they had a hard time. But us girls who cut it down, even though we were mad with him, we got up there, give our spiel, we left.
Go ahead.
It's so good because now, look how life happens, right? That was years ago. When I want to tell somebody something, I can take a step back, think about it, and just get to the point. Here's what I want, do it now. I have taught myself through him not to go mumbling around unless I'm just yapping. But if I want to get to a point, here's what I want you to do, done.
Yeah.
But that's influence, you know.
That's like, you know, even on Blab, you know, Elizabeth said we can blab and we can just go on. A lot of people do that. And I know Jackie, who she was here for a minute, and I don't see her still up here, but she and I have gone on Blabs where people just go on, and I'm like, get to the friggin' point already. You know, and we'll even put it in the side chat. We'll say, what is the point? Or somebody will ask a question and I'll say, well, what's the question behind the question? Let's get to the point here. You know, why are we going through all this? Get clear on what you want to know instead of rambling on and on. Get the point, you know, because they give you, like even with my clients, they got all this story and this background story. And I say, I just ask them a question. True or not? Is that true? You know, they'll tell me something. I say, is that true? And they go, well, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, it's a yes or no question. That's all I want to hear. Yes or no. Well, no, you know, no. Yes or no. That's all I need to hear. Is it a yes or a no? I don't need your story. I don't need your explanation. I need your answer. Yes or no. Well, sometimes no. If it's a sometimes, it's a no right there. Okay, well, now we can move on. You know,
yeah. But when we're going back to the point that we've been talking about, is how to stop procrastinating and get things done.
Get to the point.
Yep, get to the point. And also, what builds up is resistance. And if you're feeling the resistance, you want to run away from it. So one of the ways of dealing with the resistance of not so that you can actually go ahead and move past it. We'll talk about Wonderlist in a minute, Q. I think I've checked that out. It's just to relax and allow yourself to feel the resistance, you know, because, you know, if why you don't want to work out, why don't you want to finish this particular project, just actually feel it and ask yourself, could I let it go? How would I feel if I let it go? And when can I let it go? You know, so often we are so hung up in not wanting to feel it that we push it away and we just run out the door. Okay, I'm not going to do it. But if we can just allow ourselves a minute to actually feel the resistance.
Yeah. Find out what's behind it.
Yeah. And then, hey, once you feel it, just let it go. It's as easy as taking a breath opposed to holding it in, you know, and letting it stop you. Oh, you know, it's that fear. And you know what we say.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a fear. It's a fear. I had a friend who was in a dire situation once, and she did open her bills for like a month by the time I got to her. And she she said to me, I'm not touching my bills. And here in Canada, you need to get your kids' health card renewed. And when they reach a certain age, you need to get a picture. And so all this stuff was happening. So she was afraid of the bills, but what was happening is health card wasn't being renewed. She get to the doctor, they send her away because if you can't pay, they won't see you. And so many other things started happening. And I think we were at the month 2, and I said to her, okay, I'm coming over, and we're going to open the bills, and we're going to go through them. And I tell you, and she literally was in panic, cold sweat. She's like, Karen, here's what we're going to do. We can open 2 bills. We're not touching the rest. I'm like, no, we're opening every bill. I got to her apartment, knocked on the door, and she was not answering the door. And I kept knocking on the door, and her daughter come and open the door. Hi, Auntie Karen. And I came in. I'm like, put all the bills, and you can go away. I'll open them. We'll go through them when it's open, But I'm saying this as to say, when you procrastinate, right? Look how many things that she missed. She had missed a whole bunch of things that had nothing to do with bills. When we emptied the pile, she had 3 bills in there.
Yeah, but you gotta. But you got to understand, though. You got to understand. That was like a hoarder. There's a fear there, and if you uncover what the fear is, and deal with that, then they can let go of it. But you got to find out what the fear is. What is the resistance there? Yeah. What is stopping her from opening that? And even I've seen people, it's a life or death situation, and they can't get past it because they haven't addressed whatever it is. And sometimes it's really nothing. Yeah, it's so minor. But
hers was. It was not a big deal. It was that she stepped out from her job for a bit, opened the daycare. That's before she was my daycare partner. And she had to get these things done before we would open the daycare, before I agreed to open the daycare with her. And she wasn't working for a while, and she was in panic mood that she wasn't getting certain bills, wasn't caught up with certain bills, right? Mm-hmm. And the truth of the matter is, once we got those bills open, once we paid, we call the creditor and say, here, she can pay X amount of dollars. This is what she can afford to pay. And she could pay it over this extended time, because I set up a time for her to pay it out. Once she got that in place, I will say, honestly, once we got that in place, and she promised me, that was the next thing she had promised. When the bills come, she got to open them the same day, not tomorrow, not in the afternoon. If the postman gets there 12, she only's got an hour to open the bills. They can't leave for the next day.
How's that been working for her? Has she been doing that?
Yeah. I got her out of a lot of trouble.
I'll tell you, Karen has helped me face my money bills, my money fears, because I can definitely empathize with the person that she was working with.
Sure.
Like you figure, what bills are going to be sitting there. Why should I pull them out and actually look at them? I'll just I know on the other end there isn't this, that, or I think on the other end there isn't enough to pay for it. And so therefore, if I don't open it, I don't have to look at it. Yeah. But again, facing it, taking a deep breath, taking it out, facing it, you realize it's not all that bad. When I did my numbers, like Karen said, do your numbers so you can know what you have. I was preferring to live in La La Land and think about, it sooner or later, I don't want to face the real thing. But once I did it, I realized
it wasn't that big.
I had made a mountain out of a molehill. And that, again, just like procrastinating on anything, I could easily break it up and begin to do it in bite-sized pieces that made the financial picture change. So,
but your fear was irrational.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you really thought about it, now that you see it, it was irrational. And that's what happens with a lot of people who are procrastinating. They have this irrational fear. And once you can bring out that fear, then they go, that doesn't even make sense. And you go, right. Okay. So now we're clear on that. What's our next step? What can we do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You know, it's not you should do it, you must do it, you need to do it. It's,
none of that.
I could, and I will move on. So,
right.
Sometimes things have to be outsourced too. So, like, if you don't have friends like Karen to come over and open your bills for you, you know, I agree with you about getting to the underlying, what is this thing that's stopping me? But sometimes just take the laundry to the laundromat and let them wash it, dry it, fold it. Otherwise, it will sit in your house and drive you crazy. And the thing that you're procrastinating on is often draining you. It's taking So outsource it. I didn't think, like, oh my gosh, it's like, I mean, it's only like 81 cents a load, but I was like, oh my gosh, like I have no money, and the children, and the da-da-da, and I gotta buy shoes, because like feet just keep growing. They don't stop growing. I know, right? My daughter, like, took her coat shopping when she was 7, and she was like, Mommy, I love this coat. I'm like, it's $200. And we need to go love a more affordable coat, because you can only wear that coat for 2 months. Anyway, with all of that, I'm like, I can't, like, I'm going to pay somebody to do the laundry. This is madness. When I'm freelancing, if I am doing VA work, which is probably the most affordable work that I have, I'm making $25 an hour. When I go to the laundromat, I spend 3+ hours. Plus, it's stressful.
$75, and that's $75 there that you're losing out on.
Right. However, when I go and I drop it off, it's 15 minutes down the street, there and back. And I pay them like $10-15, and it comes back folded. I don't know how to fold it. Yes. The energy, like what I spend out of my bank account to get laundry service is, I get that back exponentially in energy and time, and clients come out of nowhere, and like all of,
because you're letting everything, you're going out, you're giving and you're receiving. And that's the thing, you can't just hold on to. I often talk about this with money. It doesn't matter. And I know people tell me greedy people, and I know greedy people make money. They do, but they also feel that squeeze because they're holding on to the money so tight. Like, there's people who make oodles of money, but they would never hire a cleaning service. And when they go to the dry cleaner, they are standing there arguing. I got a friend that owned a dry cleaning store, and this lady was arguing with her. She said to her, the last time I came, your husband took $2 for me. And his wife says, no, he couldn't take $2. It's $4 for the pants. And she's like, no, it's $2. She's like, okay, go home, clean your pants. I'm not taking it. And she went to the car and she came back. Could I get it done for $3? And my friend is like, Karen, I'll be back. So I'm like, just got to the bar. She left the pants there. She came back. You know, that woman came to the store like 3 or 4 times before she left the 4 pants because she wanted it to be done for $2. And I said, I had to say something. I said to her, you do realize you had anything else to do? She's like, yeah, I gotta go do this, and that. I'm like, you could have gotten it done. She goes, yeah, that is so true. Okay, I'm bye.
Well, that's true. You know, like I was at the senior center doing, just volunteering there, helping them out, showing them what to do. And what part of my job was to say, did you check in at the counter? And this woman came in, and I said, hi, how you doing? Did you check in before you came in here? And she went off on me and went on, and calling me all kinds of names and everything. And I'm like, yes or no answer. Could have saved you a whole lot of time. You could have gotten half your workout in probably by the time you got through this. We find ways to procrastinate on what we say we want to do in the strangest ways sometimes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my kids, I have to give them kudos, because I was those mom who did rattle off on so many things when I move this chair from here to there. You should move the chair from here today because if you didn't move the chair, I didn't have to tell you. And you know, if you had moved the chair yesterday, today we wouldn't be talking about it. And I said, Mom, did you want me to move the chair? She goes, all you had to do was ask me to move the chair. I could have just moved the chair. I said, she goes, or is it the chair? Which irritates me more. You know? I'm like, it is the chair, and it was yesterday when you didn't do X, Y, and she goes, so are we talking about the chair or yesterday? I'm like, I'm your mother. You don't get to tell me that way.
It is.
She's on point, by the way. I know she's on point. I know I should not be rattling off about the other thing, but I thank her later because then I get to reuse it. Another time. But, you know, kids really do that to you. They just...
But that's how, as long as we realize that we're always growing, that we're always in the process of growing. So, you know, when you're talking about how to stop procrastinating and getting things done, one, do it in pieces. You know, use a list. We've given you several different ways of using different lists. You can do one paper and pencil. You can use an app. You can use Google Calendar to do your list, to have reminders. Feel the resistance. Know that you are going to resist it, and go ahead and feel the resistance and let it go. Rebels so nicely has reminding us of the apps: Wonderlist, Focus, Pomodoro. Okay, and Google Calendar are all of the different apps that you can utilize to help you get things down. And biggest thing is just to act. Take action now. And you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If you're cleaning your house, don't worry about cleaning everything. Pick the smallest room, the bathroom, and start there. Get it clean. Then move to your bedroom, and then move to the important things one at a time. How do you organize your desk? The same way. And I find that if you are organized, that helps with the procrastinating, because the more you're organized, the better it is. It really helps you to clean I like what you put down there, Leela. Clean the thing that will make the biggest impact first, and it will create the momentum. Then rest. It's easy. You know, the rest is easy then. We've given you a couple of different ways of looking at it. If I'm going to the gym and I'm procrastinating about doing exercise, I'm going to do my squats first because they're the hardest for me. Okay, if I want momentum to build up, I may pick the easiest thing to do first. But know yourself and have a 5-minute. I have a 5-minute PDF on how to clean up in 15 minutes each area. Are you going to give us a link for it, Miss Lady, or do we have to, Miss Karen, or do we have to?
You got to be her friend.
You know, I totally. I don't have the link here with me, but now that you're talking, was one of my. I had like a 7-day. I used to give away how to clean. You know, every area in my business.
Oh, that's right. She's the cleaning lady. She knows these things.
So I had a thing I used to give away for free so that people can sign up and be on my list. So as you're talking, I remember, I'm like, I got a 15 minutes that I show people how to clean.
And I like what it was put down here. If you schedule in time for rewards for you after the hard stuff, that's also a nice carrot to have, like I know when I complete a certain project, I can go out and play. I can go with my granddaughter and actually play. And the reward is awesome. So let me ask each and every one.
Rebel. She's a rebel. She take the reward.
You do the rewards without completing. No. Eat the dessert first. If you eat the dessert first, you may not go back and do the dinner. But let me ask, Leela, anything else that you want to add to the discussion? One last point that stood out for you. Take away.
Don't sit your inner perfectionist down. A lot of the times we're procrastinating because of perfectionism. Give her a seat and a cup of tea and take any action. It doesn't have to be perfect action. You don't have to have all of the right now everything. That was why I said pick something that will make impact and do that first. And if your apartment looks like mine did a month ago, pick an area that will make impact and clean, every day. So it was like my bathroom. I gave the boys a toothbrush, clean the toilet every day. Go to the dollar store, get a pack of toothbrushes, take a toothbrush to the toilet every day till my bathroom doesn't smell like pee. Sit if you have to. And then the bathroom's done, and then I brought a broom upstairs. It lives up here. I have no excuse not to sweep the bathroom every day. Everybody has a chore in the bathroom every day. Bathroom's done. Don't have to think about it. Then
can I borrow your kids?
12, 10, and 8.
She
That's
said
okay.
she wanted to borrow it.
You want to borrow?
If the bathroom and the kitchen are clean, that's all I would hire somebody for. Clean my bathroom, clean my kitchen, done. I'll take care of the rest.
Now that we have
You
the
can do
house
that.
done, now I'm just like, I just need somebody to like clean the baseboards and like get the cobwebs that are too high up for me to reach. But but it took me a while to get there. I was recovering from depression, chronic pancreatitis, all of these things. So my body didn't want to do things. And then the children didn't have the structure to do it themselves. So I had to let myself off the hook and then get it done. But get it done like today it's the bathroom. Tomorrow it's the kitchen. The next day is the foyer. And now that it's done, all I got to do is be like, oh, you ate? Good. Wipe your table, sweep the floor, clean your chair. You're done. Go play video games. Nobody cares.
Yep.
So, but my inner perfectionism for so long was like, we have to clean and we have to clean the whole house and we have to clean it today and it has to sparkle when we're done. And I was crazy.
Now she makes me want to clean.
And that is what, regardless of it, if it's cleaning, if it's working out, if it's doing a project for work, sit her down and it will make a big difference. Rebel, any one last thing? Besides going to clean your bathroom.
Well, I've been talking about it for a long time and looking at it. Well, it's a lot of times for me. It's
Rebel. If you don't want to do it, hire it out.
Is your cleaning company here in Southern California, Karen?
No.
There you go. I would only hire your people. Okay, to answer Elizabeth's question, for me, it's because I do the EFT. What I usually do with people is find out, and with myself, one reason I'm not doing this is, one reason I'm stopping myself from doing this is, and find out what the reasons are. They don't have to make sense. They usually don't. As we said earlier, it's a fear of something. It's a fear of success. One reason I'm afraid of success is, people will expect more of me. One reason you think people will expect more of me. Is that true? People expect more of me. Well, I think that, but is it true? No. So find out, go into the depths, and then once you find out the things that are stopping you, you can move forward easier. And like I say, it doesn't make sense because a lot of the stuff that's subconscious is nonsense. It's nonsensical. And many times people, it comes up and people go, really, that's it? That doesn't even make sense. You're correct. It doesn't make sense. But it is what's stopping you. Now you can move forward. It's up. Have the conversation with that part of you and use it as fuel to move forward.
Yep. False evidence appearing real is what fear is. Karen, one thing that takeaway that you want to leave, or are you good?
Well, I guess the one thing I would want to say about procrastination is, I'm going to just say this one. I know it's popular. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel whatever you're feeling and still go ahead and do it. No matter how little bit it is. Just get up and go do it. Sometimes all you have to do is get up from where you are, or if you're standing, move from that spot and go somewhere else and just do something. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I thank you all for sharing, everybody who's come and listened and will listen to the replay, is how to stop procrastinating and get things done is to act. Take some action, take it now, make it happen. As small, it only can be a little bit, but take it now. While we were laughing is some of the comments on the side about cleaning are just hilarious, but I'm not going to share those. I thank you all for showing up and giving me your input and stuff. May light, love, and laughter follow everybody on the way. And remember, just act. That can do it. Hey, how you doing? And